pro-life agenda, as Democrats believe abortion will motivate voters across key battlegrounds.
At least 2 women, and those are only the stories we know, here in the state of Georgia, died because of a Trump abortion ban.
I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting.
But in her new op-ed, our next guest explains why this is not the case. Dr. Christina Francis is CEO of the American Association of Pro-Life Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and she joins us now. Doctor, it's so great to have you on such an important topic, because there's a lot of lies being told right now. So explain to us exactly, why did Amber Nicole Thurman die?
Yeah, thank you so much, Rachel, for having me on. You're right. This is really important to speak the truth on this issue. So Amber Nicole Thurman was a 28-year-old mother who apparently dreamed of going to nursing school one day and found out she was pregnant with twins. And when she was 9 weeks pregnant, she drove to North Carolina for what she thought was going to be a surgical abortion. And then the reports actually state that just an employee of the clinic gave her the high-risk abortion drugs, mifepristone and misoprostol. And she took those drugs, and unfortunately, 4 to 5 days later, she went to her local hospital because she had heavy bleeding, she was vomiting blood. Per the reports, she had passed out, and she showed up at her local hospital with what is very clear to me, and I think I said in my op-ed, even a first-year resident would be able to make the diagnosis of sepsis from an incomplete abortion, which we know to be a risk of taking these drugs. And unfortunately, her doctors did not appear to treat her by the standard of care, which would have been an immediate DNC and then antibiotics, and they waited 20 hours before they took her to the operating room. At that point, she was in multi-system organ failure, and she was on medications to keep her blood pressure up because of the sepsis. And unfortunately, she died on the operating room table. You know, it's really unfortunate that politicians like Vice President Harris and the media are trying to blame this on laws like Georgia's law that actually protect women and their children. And we know that Amber and her unborn children were victims of these high-risk abortion drugs.
Yeah, I mean, these drugs, and people don't understand, they're being given abortion pills, told to go to their homes and basically do a DIY abortion. And when things go wrong, we know there's been an increase, I think, of 500% of emergency room visits. And those are the ones we know of, because we've been hearing reports that some of these clinics that are giving out the pills are telling women when they have these issues to just call and say, I'm having a miscarriage. Which is true. This is from taking these abortion drugs. I want you to look at this clip, because there are OBGYNs who are very angry about the lies being told, because it's dangerous to tell lies and not tell the truth about what these pills do. Listen.
I'm mad because this woman didn't have to die. This woman did not die because, as this journalist reports, that a DNC procedure, which is a minor surgical procedure, couldn't have been done on this woman. Based on the timeline and her symptoms, she should have had it done as soon as she could get to the hospital. It was medical negligence. What's also negligence is the reporting I'm seeing over and over. You are harming women. You're scaring them to seek care. Stop it.
Doctor, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, Dr. Bain is exactly right. There was a second story out of Georgia of another woman, Candy Miller, who her family states actually stayed at home when she was suffering complications, again, of these high-risk abortion drugs, because she was afraid to go to the hospital because of things that she had heard that were false about Georgia's law. You know, we are seeing the direct result of spreading lies and misinformation about these laws. Women are being harmed by that because they're delaying and seeking care. And so I think it's really important, no matter where somebody stands on the issue of abortion, we should all want women to have accurate information so that they seek care immediately if they're experiencing complications from things like these high-risk abortion drugs.
Yeah, and we got to talk more about these high-risk abortion drugs and what they do to women. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
You got it.